Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 12th. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. The special counsel, Robert Hur, who investigated President Biden's handling of classified documents, appears before a House committee today. NPR's Tamara Keith got to read more than 250 pages of transcripts from Hur's interviews with Biden last year.
The complete transcript paints a more nuanced portrait of the president than was described in Hur's report, which said Biden would come across to jurors as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. In more than 5 hours of deposition interviews, Biden cracked jokes, went into great detail about the design of his Wilmington home, and spoke with confidence about world events. He also said, "I don't know," "I don't recall," "I don't specifically remember," and similar phrases more than 100 times. In a handful of cases, he felt around trying to remember what year certain key events happened, including the death of his beloved son, Beau. Biden recalled the day, May 30th, but not the year. Tamara Keith, NPR News.
Several states are holding primary elections today, and Republicans in Hawaii are holding a presidential caucus. One key state today is Georgia. NPR's Stephen Fowler says that's because President Biden carried the last presidential election in Georgia by a very narrow margin.
As you may remember, it was decided by about 12,000 votes in 2020, so it's expected to be close again. I mean, look, Trump spent the last 3 years insisting he didn't lose the state. It's been on the front lines of the fight over the direction of the Republican Party and how Trumpy it should be. Biden won in Georgia by stitching together this disparate coalition that he needs to replicate this year, from young people to Black, Hispanic, and Asian American voters to moderate suburban types that backed his campaign in 2020.
NPR's Stephen Fowler reporting. A boat carrying humanitarian aid has left the island of Cyprus, headed for Gaza. It's operated by the charity World Central Kitchen. NPR's Alyssa Nadworny reports that this is the first major aid delivery attempt for Gaza by sea.
The boat is loaded with nearly 200 tons of food, including flour, rice, and canned vegetables. World Central Kitchen, an organization run by the U.S. celebrity chef Jose Andres, has distributed more than 35 million meals in Gaza since October. But this will be the first maritime aid delivery, in partnership with the governments of the United Arab Emirates and Cyprus. This comes just days after the U.S. Army dispatched a ship to support President Biden's effort to build a temporary pier in Gaza for humanitarian aid delivery, as the enclave currently has no port infrastructure. The World Central Kitchen says they are building a jetty in Gaza to offload aid onto trucks.
Alyssa Nadworny reporting. Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry says he intends to resign. NPR's Ada Peralta reports from neighboring Dominican Republic. This comes after a gang revolt brought Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, to a standstill.
Prime Minister Ariel Henry made his first public appearance in more than a week via video statement. He thanked the Haitian people and said that his government could not be insensitive to the chaos and violence that has engulfed Haiti. He said he had agreed to resign once a transitional council was in place, and once that council appointed an interim prime minister. Henry was appointed prime minister after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. His term has been tumultuous. He's been implicated in the assassination of the president, and during his time in office, gangs have taken control of most of Haiti's capital. Ada Peralta, NPR News, Santo Domingo.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington.